What happens when you call everything racist? When every disagreement is fascism? When every policy you don't like is genocide? Answer: the words stop working. And when the words stop working, we can't identify the real thing anymore. Shalom, I'm Igal and this is Middle East in less than 5 minutes. And today we are talking The Boy Who Cried Wolf, 2026 edition. You know the story. Kid lies about wolves. Villagers come running. No wolf. He does it again and again. Then the real wolf shows up and nobody comes. The kid gets eaten, the sheep get slaughtered, and everyone learns a lesson about crying wolf. We're living in the part of the story where the real wolf just walked into the village. Except now, half the people are still screaming wolf at house cats, and the other half can't tell the difference anymore. Let's talk about how we got here. Exhibit A. Racism. Racism used to mean something specific. Segregation, lynching, whites-only signs, redlining, the belief that certain races are inferior and should be treated as such. Now, disagreeing about border policy is racist. School dress codes are racist. Being on time is racist. Math is racist. Expecting people to show ID to vote is racist. I'm not exaggerating. These are the actual arguments made in actual publications by actual activists. When you call everything racist, you don't fight racism. You immunize it. Because when someone points to actual racial hatred, the response isn't shock anymore. It's eye-rolling. Oh, here we go again. Everything racist now. The NAACP issues travel advisories warning black people not to visit Florida. Meanwhile, actual neo-Nazis march in Tennessee, and it barely makes the news cycle. Why? Fatigue. We've been told everything is a racist. We've been told everything is a crisis for so long that we can't recognize the real ones. Exhibit B. Fascism. Fascism is a specific thing. Totalitarian government, merger of state and corporate power, suppression of opposition, ultranationalism, militarism. Think Mussolini, think Franco, think actual brown shirts beating people in the streets. But today, Trump is fascist. Biden is also fascist. Your local school board member who doesn't want graphic books in elementary libraries, fascist. The barista who got your name wrong, probably fascist. I saw someone on Twitter call a parking enforcement officer a fascist because they got a ticket. A parking ticket. Fascism. When you use the word that way, what word do you have left when someone actually tries to ban opposition parties, censor the press, and lock up political enemies? You already used your biggest gun on a parking ticket. Exhibit C. Genocide. This one hit close. Genocide has a definition. It was codified after the Holocaust. It means the deliberate, systematic destruction of a racial, ethnic, national, or religious group. The intent to eliminate them entirely. The Holocaust was genocide. Rwanda was genocide. The Armenian genocide was genocide. The Uyghur situation in China is approaching that threshold. But now, Gaza is called genocide. Never mind that the population has grown every year. Never mind that Israel provides advanced warnings before strikes. Never mind that Hamas embeds fighters in hospitals, schools, and mosques, specifically to maximize civilian casualties for propaganda. If what's happening in Gaza is genocide, what word do you use for the Yazidis? ISIS rounded them up, executed the men, enslaved the women, and tried to wipe them from existence. That's actual genocide. But we've already spent the word on a conflict where one side repeatedly offers peace and the other side explicitly calls for extermination in its founding charter. When you call everything genocide, you don't stop genocide. You make people numb to it. Exhibit D, Antisemitism. I could do a whole episode on this one. Actually, I will. Next episode. But here's the short version. Real antisemitism got a rebrand. Now it's called anti-Zionism. Sounds political, right? Sounds like legitimate criticism of a government. Except when you dig into what these anti-Zionists actually believe, it's the same old hatred, with a fresh coat of paint. They don't criticize Israel policies the way they criticize any other country. They deny Israel's right to exist at all. They hold Israel to a standard they apply to no one else. Turkey occupies Cyprus. China commits actual genocide against Uyghurs. Russia occupies Crimea. Where are the campus protests? Where are the BDS movements? Nowhere. Because it was never about human rights. It is about Jews. It always has been. Columbia University had Jewish students trapped in a library while a mob pounded on the doors. Globalize the Intifada gets chanted at rallies. Zionists don't deserve to live gets spray painted on walls. Jewish students get spat on, assaulted, told to go back to Europe. But it's fine. It's not anti-Semitism, it's anti-Zionism. See how that works? They took the word anti-Semitism, which everyone understood as evil, and replaced it with anti-Zionism, which sounds like legitimate political discourse. Now they can say all the same things Nazis said, do all the same things Nazis did, but with plausible deniability. That's how you kill language. You don't erase the hate, you just give it a new name and pretend it's something else. More on this in the next episode, because this deserves its own deep dive. Exhibit E, Illegal Immigration. Here's where the language game gets really dangerous. Illegal immigration is a term. It describes entering or remaining in a country without legal authorization. It's not a slur, it's a legal status. But now you're not allowed to say illegal immigrants. That's dehumanizing. You have to say undocumented. As if they just forgot their papers at home. As if this was a clerical error and not a deliberate choice to bypass immigration law. Some activists insist on irregular migrants. Others say asylum seekers, even when the person hasn't filed for asylum. The most extreme say no human is illegal, which sounds compassionate, but is functionally meaningless. If no human is illegal, then laws mean nothing. You can't run a country like this. Here's the consequence. You can't have a policy debate if you can't name the issue. When one side refuses to acknowledge that laws exist and have meaning, you are not debating immigration policy anymore. You are debating where the reality is real. And while we argue over pronouns for border crossers, actual human trafficking explodes. Cartels make billions. Women and children get abused. But we can't address it because saying illegal immigration is a problem gets you called a racist. Which brings us back to racism, and the whole stupid cycle starts again. The Neuroscience of Overuse. There's actually research on this. It's called semantic satiation. When you repeat a word over and over, it loses meaning. Your brain stops processing it as an information. It becomes noise. That's what's happening culturally. We've repeated racist, fascist, genocide, bigot, anti-Semite so many times that they've lost their power. They're not warnings anymore. They're background static. And here's the scariest part. This isn't an accident. Activists discovered that if you label something with a morally charged word, you don't have to argue the merits. You don't have to present evidence. You just have to invoke the word and people shut down. It's a shortcut, a cheat code. But cheat codes break the game, and now the game is broken. So what happens next? When words lose meaning, we lose the ability to communicate. When we lose the ability to communicate, we lose the ability to solve problems. And when we lose the ability to solve problems, we descend into tribalism, violence, and chaos. You want to know why political discourse feels insane? Because we can't agree on definitions. You want to know why bigotry is rising? Because we can't distinguish it from disagreement. You want to know why antisemitism is exploding? Because we spent a decade crying wolf, and now the wolf is here and nobody believes us. We did this to ourselves. We weaponize language for short-term political wins. And we are all paying for it. How to fix it? Step 1. Stop lying. If it's not genocide, don't call it genocide. If it's not fascism, don't call it fascism. Save the big words for the big things. Step 2. Be specific. Instead of screaming racist, explain the actual behavior you are objecting to. Instead of yelling anti-Semite, cite the actual statement or action. Force yourself to make an argument instead of throwing a label. Step 3. Accept that people you disagree with aren't automatically evil. Somebody can support border enforcement without hating Latinos. Somebody can criticize Israel without hating Jews. Somebody can oppose gender ideology in schools without hating trans people. Disagreement is not hatred. Policy differences are not moral crimes. And if you can't tell the difference, you are part of the problem. Language is a tool. When you misuse a tool, it breaks. And when it breaks, you can't fix the things it was designed to fix. We need the word genocide to mean something when the next Rwanda happens. We need the word fascism to mean something when the next Mussolini shows up. We need the word anti-Semitism to mean something when the next pogrom starts. But right now, we are on track to enter the next atrocity without the vocabulary to name it. Because we spent all our words on parking tickets and disagreements. So here's my ask. Stop crying wolf. Save your ammunition. Use words that mean things. And when the real threat shows up, we'll still have the language to fight. I'm Igal, and this was Middle East in less than 5 minutes. Until next time, Shalom.